Unfortunately, for a rider like Baining, you're going to get the camera in your face when you get dropped. It comes with being the overall race leader. You just have to accept it.
Franck at the front, followed by Bacalance and Visconti. Head of the race, 1:44. And here comes Bacalance making the acceleration.
Oh, and no response at all from Visconti, who was behind him, who could see it happening.
I don't know how much they have left, Franck and Visconti. Bacalance certainly looking to be maybe the strongest among any of the breakaway riders today. Meantime, the pink jersey just trying to limit the losses now.
Well, as I look at that lead group of three, Visconti is the weakest man, at least on the climb. And it's all been Bacalance and Franck showing that they've got the strongest legs. And the highest will as well.
Boy, how about this Omega Farmalato team?
Pretty impressive what these guys have continued to do. Attacking time after time, day after day.
Oh, here comes a move from the field. Androni Giacottoli. First move from the peloton today. And that is Ruano. Jose Ruano, the Venezuelan for Androni Giacottoli. He's been on the podium before here at the Giro back in 2005. He launches the first big move from the field with 9 kilometers left to go for the leaders.
And for Euskaltel from the field, it's Mikel Nieve. But Ruano, a very good climber out of Venezuela.
And we've seen Androni Giacottoli working their way towards the front of the field in the last several kilometers. Mikel Nieve just behind him in the orange for the Euskaltel team. And here comes the field. Not really riding away, it doesn't look like.
Well, guys are going to pay a lot of attention right now, and they're not going to let people trickle off the front so much, I don't think. This is actually that steepest part of the course, 12% for where the breakaway is, but the field's a little bit back.
Pink jersey losing time. That's Nieve, just ahead of the field, and trying to come up to the back of Ruano. And there's Pablo Lastras in the background of Movistar just getting past.
So Lastras' chance for the Maglia Rosa is over.
Ruano goes by him. Nieve just can't bridge across, it doesn't look like here.
This Androni Giacottoli team, always a very aggressive team. Remember a couple of years ago in 2009 when Michele Scarponi was riding for them, he won 2 stages by taking it to everybody else in this attacking style of this squad.
And this is back to the front of the race. Jan Bacalance of Omega Farmalato. Wow. He's opened up a big gap.
Just killing it out there right now. He looks fantastic. That definitely the course is leveled out a little bit right here, but he looks really good, really smooth on the bike.
It was a 9-man breakaway. Bacalance was part of that. Now it's down to just 1.
And contrast that with Lastras, who is going backwards right now. Very different body position and body language out of those 2 men.
Now the 2 Lampre riders still dragging everybody along at the front of the field. The pink jersey trying to hang on. Stefano Garzelli just in front of, well, let's see. That's not Garzelli.
That's one of his teammates there. I believe that's Sarmiento.
Sarmiento.
The Colombian on that squad. All these squads very international in flavor for the most part.
Nibali is third wheel just ahead of Garzelli, who's number 1 just behind him. Then Kreuziger right behind Garzelli for Astana. That's the front of the field right now.
Looking for Contador up there in the top 10 and not seeing him. And the question is he waiting or what? This is Machado, 2:11, the leader for Radio Shack. So he has been spit out the back of the field here on this first testing mountain day.
Under 8 kilometers left to go for our leader, Jan Bacalance. So this is the front of the race. Just 1 man left from the biggest break so far at the Giro. It's the 25-year-old guy who won the Tour de l'Avenir, a very prestigious young riders race back in 2008. Finished outside the top 30 last year at the Giro in the general classification, but Bacalance today trying to continue this fine run for the Omega Farmalato team at this year's race. Now the lava fields all around the riders now, the second time up Mount Etna. They went up the northern side earlier today, now coming up the steeper southern side A 20-kilometer climb to the second summit finish of this year's Giro d'Italia.
And Marco Pinotti started the day just 2 seconds out of the race lead. Overall, tied with his teammate Sitsov. That's Niemiec now. The Polish rider, so they no longer have the second man, Marzano, on the front. It's Niemiec riding for Scarponi, but Scarponi back a little bit.
Stefano Garzelli right behind him. You've got Roman Kreuziger there for Astana, Vincenzo Nibali there for Liquigas Cannondale. Astana still has several guys there riding for Kreuziger.
And if you notice, Kreuziger and Nibali both look very smooth, very calm on the bike.
These guys off the back. Marco Marzano for Lampre.
That's perfectly understandable considering he just spent about 3K setting the tempo there on the front. Krausbeck, I just saw him, best young rider in the white jersey, and there's Menchov, 61.
First time we've seen him.
Legs. Yeah, he's that man. Remember when he won it in 2009? We would look for him day in and day out and almost never see him until the end of the race.
Gap finally under 1 minute with just over 7 kilometers left to go. And this is the leader, Jan Bakelants of Omega Pharma-Lotto.
Pozzovivo, number 41 there, the climbing leader for the Colnago CSF squad. Little man excels at the uphill discipline.
I'd love a top 10 at this year's race. Colnago been more in the breaks so far through the first week. Omega Pharma-Lotto has been everywhere, including winning stages. This is Jan Bakelants trying to hang on to win this stage number 9. These are guys just behind Giovanni Visconti, Matthias Frank. They were with Bakelants before he attacked that last time. So now this is the second group on the road.
52 seconds back. Now it's dropped to 51. That is not looking good for them. Down to 50, but still, that's a pretty big advantage for Bakelants.
There he is. That's the gap. And with these wide open spaces, the lava fields, the lack of vegetation, going up these climbs, you can see the riders and your relationship to everybody on the road, even when there are more sizable gaps.
And here comes
the attack from Contador. For the second day in a row, Alberto Contador launches the move late.
Contador, he's got the acceleration. Now the question is, who has something to match him?
He looks back right away to see who may follow. There's Michele Scarpone. He's going to try and respond.
Well, looks like he's responding very well. It looks like he's coming across with a big turn of speed. Where is Nibali? Where is Kreuziger? Some of the other danger men.
No big response behind. That's Quick Step and Lampre. Lampre rider is just going to sit in because Scarpone is attacking. There's Roman Kreuziger. There's Stefano Garzelli. There's Vincenzo Nibali, number 111. He is not responding.
Wow, very interesting. You got to keep your eye, I say specifically on Nibali and Kreuziger.
Well, Alberto Contador, just behind him, this man, Michele Scarpone for Lampre.
Oh, Scarpone's starting to hurt to close this down. Look at how smooth Contador is, really turning the pedals over at a good rate of speed. Scarpone already starting to grind the gear.
Now Contador waited till the climb got steep. He attacked. Jose Ruano, the man for Androni Giacottoli. That's Matthias Frank, BMC, being picked up by Contador. This is Michele Scarpone just behind Contador. So Contador and Scarpone ride by Frank.
Very different styles, these two guys. Look at the leg speed of Contador. When you see Scarpone really kind of grinding it, probably 10 RPMs less.
A big selection could be made today, given this move by Contador. Scarpone, the only other GC man responding. Jan Bakelants still leading the race. He's out front. That's Jose Ruano in the distance for Androni Giacottoli. He launched the first move from the peloton. But Contador coming up quick. There's Visconti. He's going backwards.
Yeah, he's still trying to hang on, but he's not going to be hanging on for long. Not with Contador and Scarpone coming up on the big charge.
All right, there's Ruano. Now Contador and Scarpone. Less than half a minute behind Jan Bakelants of Omega Pharma-Lotto, the leader of the race right now, with just about 6 kilometers left to the summit finish.
This is exactly what Bakelants didn't want to happen. He did not want these guys to go to battle like this. This is what's going to ruin his day for the stage win.
So Ruano will try and get onto the back of Scarponi, it looks like, and make this a 3-man group. Scarponi not helping Contador whatsoever. Now Nibali coming and trying to make the move in response. He's at the front of this group.
And no teammates to give him a hand right now for Nibali. Let's see if he's got everybody in tow. That's Garzelli 2 wheels behind. And the Movistar rider right in between.
David Arroyo, it looks like. David Arroyo for Movistar, the guy who wore the pink jersey for a while last year. Now Contador again. A little bit of an acceleration as they go by Visconti.
Notice Contador.
Oh, look at Scarponi. He's getting dropped.
Oh, my goodness. Scarponi is cracking.
Contador has Ruano on his wheel, but Scarponi is losing time behind, and this is a big acceleration by Alberto Contador.
He looks so much smoother than Scarponi did as Scarponi came across. Contador obviously senses it, puts in another surge. Scarponi's going backwards right now.
And just 20 seconds to the race leader, but I think it's even less than that right now. Scarponi just could not respond for the second time to the move by Alberto Contador. Vincenzo Nibali further back from Scarponi. This is Jan Bakelants at the front, but just behind there's Contador and Ruano.
It's all over for Bakelants. I don't see how he could possibly hang at this infernal pace that Contador is setting for very long.
Alberto Contador putting himself in position to take the overall race lead by the end of the day with this move late in stage 9 up to the summit finish on the volcano Mount Etna. There's Nibali, Arroyo, Garzelli, and Kreuziger. The 4 men coming up to Scarponi now.
Scarponi now has to just relax a little bit, try and come back from going so deep following Contador, get some recovery so the other men don't jump him.
Look at how big this gap is. That's Bakelants right there. Contador and Ruano just went by him.
Those gaps opening up very quickly after all this climbing. Remember, they've been climbing for 35 kilometers.
There's a lot of road between these two and those other top GC riders. What, nobody accelerates like Alberto Contador. I mean, these are the best riders in the world, amongst the best, and Contador is just riding away from them.
And look at Nibali on the front there, just wondering
That's
who might...
Konstantin Sivsov, who starts the day just 2 seconds back on GC. He came up to the back of that group, and now the HTC High Road rider is getting a gap over Scarponi, Nibali, Garzelli, and Kreuziger.
And it's Przemysław Niemiec on the front, the Polish rider trying to set tempo for his leader. But look at Contador continuing to throw down.
This is unbelievable. Contador about to drop Ruano with 5 kilometers left to go.
Ruano's going to do everything he can just to sit on that wheel and fight and try and get a stage win.
Boy, an impassioned ride by Alberto Contador, saying he was suffering from allergies just a few days ago on the summit finish, but the attack late yesterday to finish second and get a time bonus. Now talking to Ruano, saying, hey, help me out. Come to the front. Let's work together.
If you're Ruano right now, you say, look, buddy, it's all on you. You're riding for the GC. I'm along for the ride and the stage win.
So you have Niemiec up there, his teammate Michele Scarponi, 4 wheels back, in between Nibali, Garzelli, Kreuziger, David Arroyo for Movistar, but a very reduced field. This is Konstantin Sivsov of HTC High Road, just ahead of that group, and they're going under the 5K banner. Michele Scarponi responded to the first acceleration by Contador, but then was dropped with his second move. 40 seconds ahead now for Contador and Ruano.
It's a big, big move by Alberto to go this big. So early on the climb, too. He didn't wait for it to happen late. Sivsov has been brought back at this point.
And you got to think, too, Todd, the fact that the Giro will no doubt be decided in the big mountains in the final week. But psychologically, this is a statement, and it's a blow to everybody else behind this man, Alberto Contador.
Especially considering what he did yesterday when nobody would have Kreuziger attack him. So it's almost tactical once again.
How devastating is it for these guys to see what Contador's done, though, the last couple of days?
The mental blow has got to be very serious. Back-to-back days where he's really showing them that he's got what it takes.
Ruano still on his wheel. Alberto Contador, the winner of the 2008 Giro. won that race without any preparation. Late invite to his Astana team. Came in, won it after spending time on the beach on vacation. This was a look back at the acceleration earlier that got him clear of the other GC riders, and what a massive move it was.